I'm going to level with you guys. It's Friday. I want to have a nice, easy, chill Friday, then go home and enjoy the weekend. Unfortunately, the bosses told me this morning we need 35 subscribers on today's video. So don't get me yelled at. I need you guys to help me out. Hit that subscribe button and help me enjoy this Friday. We're starting off today's show by giving you guys some key upcoming dates to keep in mind. Minicamp is over. That means we are wandering through the desert until July 15th. Of course, that's when rookies will report to training camp. Then the vets will report a week later on July 22nd. Got a joint practice with Indianapolis on the 5th of August, and then a joint practice with Washington on the 21st. Keep those in the calendar. Keep those in the mind, because over the next couple of weeks, things are about to get real boring, folks. Not here, though, of course, because we always keep you entertained and updated right here on the Ravens Rundown. We're doing winners and losers today, so we always got to start with the disclaimer, okay? If somebody is labeled a loser, I don't hate them, I don't think they suck at football, and I don't think I'm better than they are at football. It's just my job to analyze what went on in minicamp, and today we're going to give you 5 guys whose stock went up and 3 guys whose stock went down. Let's start with the winners, though. Of course, let's talk about Devontae Walker. This is a guy that after last season, I would have labeled as someone who needs a massive year in 2025, or that's going to be a wasted draft pick. And so far through the offseason, Walker is showing like he's going to take a massive step up. Ryan Mink tweeted out yesterday, John Habraugh really likes what he's seen from second-year wide receiver Devontez Walker. Quotes, he has a chance to be really good. Now, I know that's a little bit of coach speak, and I know John Harbaugh, pretty much of any coach in the National Football League, probably coach speaks more than anybody else. But the thing is we've been hearing this constantly, not just in minicamp, not just that update. We heard it in OTAs as well. We also heard it when the rookies report. We've heard great things about Devontez Walker time and time again throughout this offseason. I'm starting to just believe that it's true. And it's so interesting because you throw it back to 2024. This is a guy who got 20 snaps, only 2 targets, only 1 catch. The funny thing is that catch was a touchdown against producer Schmitty's New York Giants, but still, he didn't do much last year. And everybody didn't really have confidence in him. Going throughout this offseason, he's proving those people wrong, and I think he's ready for a breakout. What say you guys? Does Devontez Walker have a breakout season in 2025? If you think he does, go ahead and give me a yes in the comment section down below. And if you think he doesn't, go ahead and hit me with a no. Second winner of minicamp is Dcasta. I know he's not a player. I know he's not on the team, but I had to put him on this list because like we talked about yesterday, he has been cooking so far this offseason. Signed D-Hop to the $5 million deal. Only $5 million for a really good veteran wide receiver. Draft the 22nd best prospect at 27. Draft the 18th best prospect at 59. Extended Rashad Bateman, who I think could be this team's wide receiver 1 for only $12 million a year. And then signed Jaire Alexander to a $4 million deal. And if you still think that's not a great deal, wait until you see that Nick Samak, the center out of Michigan State, who you got in the 7th round in 2024, didn't play a snap last year, is making more money than Jaire Alexander this next season. Dcasta is the best general manager in football right now. And what makes me so confident in saying that is he doesn't just do really well in free agency, and I think the cheap signings of those 2 really great veteran additions in DeAndre Hopkins and in Jaire Alexander, they prove that he can do it in free agency, but it's what he does in the draft, in my opinion, that is so impressive. So much of this talent on this roster is homegrown talent, drafted talent. He does both things so well, and you can't have minicamp winners on this list and not put the guy who just brought Jaire Alexander to Baltimore on the first day of minicamp. Let's talk about Marlon Humphrey now, because he is my 3rd winner. And it's funny putting a cornerback on this list after you added another really good cornerback. But I think he's a winner because adding Jaire Alexander just locks him into that slot position, okay? If you look at this cornerback room right now, Jaire and Nate, they've got the outside on lock, right? Before that, it was Nate Nwuzie on the outside, Marlon in the slot. He still was at that slot, but he wasn't locked in there. I would not have been surprised to see him putting in a lot of outside cornerback reps if Chidobe Awuzie or TJ Tampa were, quote unquote, slacking off. But now you got Jaire Alexander in here. That locks him into the slot. And he also has just got an elite mindset on where this defense needs to be in 2025. Okay? He knows what everybody's been saying about the lack of playoff success. And part of that is because the defense has failed to create turnovers. Think about it. Last 2 playoff losses against the Chiefs and the Bills, the turnover margin has been 6-0. Yeah, 6 is a really high number. Way too high a number. But 0 is also a really low number. In fact, the lowest you can possibly get. That needs to go up. Marlon said, it doesn't matter how well you play defensively. If you don't take the ball away, you're not playing good enough. He's right about that. He also said he wants this defense to be looked at like Ravens defenses in the past. Known for that identity. That's what this franchise is known for. Playing defense. It's going to be hard to do with Lamar Jackson on the other side of the ball, but I love that he wants that and he's got the mindset to get there. Let's keep it in the secondary, okay? Let's talk about Nate Wiggins because I think he's another big winner after minicamp. And I'm going to give you a hint. The last one's going to be in the secondary cornerback room as well. Justin Robertson was out at practice and said Nate Wiggins intercepted a Lamar Jackson pass intended for Rashad Bateman that could have been a pick 6 in a live situation. Nate Wiggins is not letting anybody take his cornerback 1 spot. I think that he's earned that spot. He had a great rookie year. He's added a ton of weight. He's only improved so far through the offseason. And sure, Jaire Alexander comes in here, and they're going to compete, and the CB1 is going to go to the best cornerback. But Nate Wiggins is trying to prove to everybody, guys, that's me on this roster. Sure, you could bring in a vet, a guy who's been a 2-time Pro Bowler, a guy who had 15 pass breakups and 4 interceptions just 2 seasons ago. I'm ready for this spot. Give me the best wide receiver every single time. He's making plays, and he's proving to Zach Orr and everybody else in that coaching staff, I'm the guy to trust in the cornerback room. Let's keep it right there. TJ Tampa is my last winner. I've got a ton of respect and excitement for TJ Tampa. The excitement comes from him making plays. Justin Robertson with this report as well. TJ Tampa logged his 2nd interception in as many days after wide receiver Dayton Wade slipped on an outbreaking route. So why he's a winner? I look at him and I say to myself, it could be really easy for TJ Tampa to be mad that Jaire Alexander is most likely going to take that cornerback 2 spot that he was competing for. It'd be easy for him to say, woe is me, sit in the corner, pout, demand to be traded, whatever it is. Instead, he's balling out in minicamp. He's picking quarterbacks off. I don't care if it was Cooper Rush, Lamar Jackson. I don't care if it was myself throwing that pass. TJ Tampa is making plays. And who knows? Jaire Alexander is on a 1-year deal. TJ Tampa could prove to be wonderful depth throughout the season, and everybody could be confident in him in 2026 to take over that role. I need you guys to shout them out in the comment section down below. I just gave you 5. I want you to name a winner from Ravens minicamp in the comment section right now. While you're down there, you'll see this link, chatsports.com/Lamar jersey. That's where you can get a Lamar Jackson jersey today. They ship free. You can get them in purple. You can get them in black. I know that we got a long time till football season comes around, but this is exactly why you got to do it now. Because the closer we get to football season, the more expensive these jerseys are going to be. Father's Day just passed. If you miss getting out a present for your dad, this is the perfect one to do so. Support the best, wear the best, support us here at the Ravens Rundown, our friends at Fanatics, and of course, your favorite team, the Baltimore Ravens. Chatsports.com/Lamar jersey. Where you got to go, that link is in the comments and description of this video. Let's talk losers now. Sonny Nato is going to be my first loser on this list, and this is just what happens when you add a really, really talented player. When you add any player to this roster, someone's got to leave. And unfortunately, that was Sonny Nato. Jeff Zrebiak tweeted this out. To make room for cornerback Jaire Alexander on their roster, the Ravens waived running back Sonny Nato, a UDFA out of Monmouth. And I'm not going to lie to you, I was actually really excited about Sonny. I think I talked about him a lot in my UDFA grades video. I might have even given that grade like an A. But we all knew, with the current state of the depth chart in the running back room, it was going to be hard for him to make this roster. This is just what happens, unfortunately, in this league. It's a business. We might look at it as entertainment, which it is as well, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a business. And you look at the room, and with Keaton Mitchell healthy, this is a really hard unit to crack. And unfortunately, they felt like Nato was in the tail end of it. He was at the bottom of this team, the bottom of this depth chart when it comes to running back. And they just felt, you know what, probably best for us to part ways right now. My second loser is Chidobe Awuzie. And I know what you're saying. Joey, how can Cheeto be a loser, but Tampa be a winner? Well, part of that comes from the fact that TJ Tampa is still making plays. But looking at this room, you see Awuzie right there under Alexander. I honestly probably would have said at the end of the day, Cheeto was probably going to start week 1. Now, I don't know if he was going to start for the entirety of the year. TJ Tampa could have come in, made a couple plays like he's been doing so far in minicamp and taken that starting spot. But I thought Cheeto was going to win the job. So because you had Jaire Alexander, that takes away a starting spot from Chidobe Awuzie, gives it to Jaire, and he's a loser because of that. Again, quotation marks on that. And also, like, TJ Tampa's making plays around him. Who knows? Maybe TJ Tampa has the depth spot over a guy like Cheeto. Don't be scared. Name a loser from Ravens minicamp in the comment section right now. Don't be afraid. Let me know who that is in the comments. My third loser and final loser from today is Teddye Buchanan. A guy I'm still really excited about and a guy who I've got a ton of trust in that he's going to be a star one day in this league. Unfortunately, we all know he's in a competition battle with Trenton Simpson, who feels really good about his chances and just has got a great mindset for where he is right now. Of course, he got benched last season, and he said, I know that'll be the greatest thing that ever happened to me in my career. Definitely made me more alert to understand that this is a business, and you have to prove it every single day. I've learned so much from it. And everything coming from minicamp, it points to Trenton Simpson being the guy on the inside next to Roquan Smith. Now, that could change in an instant. Teddye Buchanan could come into training camp, had the best training camp of anybody on this roster, and take over that starting spot. But everything that we've heard about Trenton Simpson, from the mindset of him getting benched last year to the working out over the summer, over the offseason, right with Roquan Smith, you kind of think he's going to be the guy that wins the job. And because of that, Teddye Buchanan's out, but that might be good for him as well. You know, get that rookie year just to learn under and be a really good backup. Make sure you guys got me on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me at Joey Petersen 8 on both those platforms. Also, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, youtube.com/RavensTV. Hit that big red sub button. We'll see you next time.